Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me. We're going to talk about emptied to be filled from Philippians chapter 2, verse 6 through 7. Who, being in very nature God, did not consider equality with God something to be used to his own advantage. Rather, he made himself nothing by taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness. Again, thank you for joining me this morning. There was a woman who ran a bakery on the edge of a town. Not a really fancy one, but just a small brick building with foggy windows and flowers always dusting the air. She had built it from scratch, brick by brick, loaf by loaf. It was her dream ever since she was a little child. Her sweat, her late nights. Then came that freezing winter. A family with thin coats and hollow eyes stood outside her window. She saw them, she paused, looked at the warm bread in the oven, and she stepped outside with a paper bag of bread and a decision to sit in the cold while this family ate her bread. She gave something small, but something inside her changed. What she laid down wasn't lost, it was filled with something better. And I think that's a glimpse, just a shadow of what Paul is trying to get at when he describes Jesus. He says Jesus is who, being in very nature God. And that line alone should stop us. Jesus said everything. He had power, authority, full access to glory. And he didn't grasp at it. He didn't hoard it. He didn't hold on to it. He didn't stand behind it like a king with guards at the gate. Instead, Paul tells us Jesus emptied himself. He became like us, flesh and bone, bruises, not just human, but a servant, the lowest kind, the kind that stoops down, who listens, who gives without expecting it back, who washes feet. And the word nothing is kind of jarring, isn't it? Jesus made himself nothing. Now, that doesn't mean he lost his value. It means he laid down his advantage. He let go of what he couldn't, what he could have kept, and he did it on purpose. See, we don't talk like that in this world. Not really. We talk about climbing higher, securing our place, earning more, holding on. That's the air we breathe. That's how we are taught fight to matter, fight to stay on top. But Jesus, he did the opposite. He didn't fight to stay God. He chose to come close. He chose to suffer. He chose to serve. He chose to touch the lepers. He didn't empty himself to become less. No, he emptied himself to love more. This is the quiet scandal of the gospel in the kingdom of God. Down is way up. Humility isn't a detour, it's the road. And the cross wasn't a breakdown in plan. It was the plan. And here's the hope buried in that descent. What you give up for his sake is never wasted. Your obedience, your letting go, your decision to serve when it costs you, that's not just noticed, it's actually redeemed. See, God doesn't let emptiness stay empty. He fills it with his power. He fills it with his presence. He fills it with resurrection. He will come near you and be with you. That woman with the bakery, she never told the story like it was some heroic act. No, it's just a moment in her life and just a meal. But years later, someone else remembered the warmth of that bread, the kindness of that silence, how she sat next to this family, the way her simple act whispers something eternal. And that's how the kingdom moves. It's quiet choices we make every day, small sacrifices we make each day, emptiness offered to God who knows how to fill it. So, my friends, what are you holding on to? What advantage, what reputation, what safety, what are you holding on to? And what if laying it down didn't mean losing it, but finding something better? Jesus made himself nothing so we could be made whole. He stepped down so we could rise with him. And now the question hangs in the air, will we do the same as we follow Jesus day by day? My friends, I hope God bless you. And I pray, like Jesus, We will empty ourselves that others may see Christ through us. If you are blessed this morning, please click that like button so others can find us. And then I'll see you in a few days.